lovey-dovey, but it's just it's too fast. It's a little too fast. Like,
all right. That's a hot take. Know them the best. So I don't know the back workings of Margaret and Teresa and all that. All I know is it just sounds like they're at a better place. Now Margaret and Joe are going to the wedding. So is March Sr. But, yeah, maybe there's money. Maybe the money is worth it.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
I would do a lot for the money. I would like, you could basically call me anything to my face. And
me too.
And if they were like, you know what, you're going to get $35,000 to go to this, 6-hour wedding, I'd be like, all right, no problem.
I completely agree. I am the same way. If I were on the show, like we've talked about this before, like with Candace, like I would just be like, I don't care what you say about me on Twitter. I don't care. I don't care. Treat me like a piece of shit. I don't care. Just give me my money and I know what this is. And this is the job and leave me alone. That's all. I guess we can end. Oh, okay. One more quick thing. And then we'll really end. Marlo's home invasion.
I know, that was nuts, Miss Marlo, who's then out there giving an interview, full head to toe Louis Vuitton, saying, if you have designer things, ladies and gentlemen, hide your designer goods. Be careful with your designer things. They are like, Marlo, you're in the head to toe Louis. Like, okay.
I mean, right? Like, and she look at.
I can't even remember. Was she home? It happened a couple weeks ago.
Yes, she was. It's all like just. I don't know. It's so, I mean, are people targeting these people because they're on TV? I mean, Dorit and Kyle. And I mean, let's not forget Christine Quinn. I mean, I think has one of the best styles ever from Selling Sunset. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just don't know. I truly don't know. Like, just don't let things, I don't know. Just don't flaunt it on TV, people. Right. But I mean, that's the job. But I mean, Marlo's okay, but it's shocking. We have another home invasion. And so it's another housewife. It's, other people from reality TV, and just, you got to be careful. But yes, Marlo was it all Louis when she was saying this. And it was kind of funny. Anything else before we wrap up? Anything else on your mind? We have a lot we're going to have to cover next week. And I don't know, guys.
No, I mean, there's so much we still have to talk about. So, no, I mean, I think the only other one real quick was the, Mike from Shahs of Sumset is being sentenced in that domestic violence case, which we now know was against Paulina. So Paulina or somebody close to Paulina called, and, Mike, I believe, was found guilty a couple weeks ago, in that case, and they're very cryptic if they're still together, which to me means that they are back together. I don't know that, but I'm just saying that he's been charged now with domestic violence against his fiance in LA. 14 criminal counts, including domestic violence, battery, and weapons charges in the case involving his fiance. He's 43 years old. He appeared on the Bravo reality show, of course, Shahs of Sumset from 2012 to 2021. His fiance, Paulina Ben Cohen, identified herself Wednesday as the victim in that case. Mike was charged with those 2 counts of injuring a spouse or cohabitant in the act of domestic violence, 4 counts of battery. He pled not guilty to all counts.
She identifies herself as the victim, which I think we didn't necessarily know before, right?
No. His pretrial is August 29th. He posted the $50,000 bond, if you remember, on March 28th. And he had not until now.
I mean, listen, okay, so she's identified herself as the victim, but I mean, right, like, where do you stand? I mean, if they're back together, it's like, oh my God, I don't know.
Well,
it's so bad.
The hardest part in a lot of domestic cases is like the people do get back together, and lots of times, there's so much psychologically there that the women, do go back. And her, Paulina's attorney basically said that Paulina is completely supporting the police in their investigation, and her priority is keeping her children safe. But it's I don't know, and
I
it's
told you.
not in somebody's marriage, but it's very sad with kids involved because I'm sure they've become attached to Mike to some degree, or maybe not, but they're in that household. And you talked about the incident, I know, of Paulina coming on the show and then Mike yelling in the background.
This happened. I mean, somewhere I probably have the unedited video, and like, look, I'm not here to like do an expose, but Paulina was on my show. I'm gonna have to re-release this episode. I was like on one of my Friday repeats, and when we have repeats on Friday, and I mean, she was saying something, and I mean, there was screaming off camera, and it was Mike's voice. Is far the voice I recognized was Mike's. I never saw him. I cannot confirm that that was him, but they were speaking in Persian, and it wasn't, and I didn't understand a word that was being said, and it was
Oh, you need
not.
an interpreter.
Oh my God, I have to get an
Get an
interpreter.
interpreter. Let's
Oh,
find out what they were saying.
oh, I like that. I like that idea. And then I mean, she was visibly shaken. And I said, like, I mean, I never stop a show. And I said, listen, like, should we like take a break? And she said, listen, I'm going to be right back. And I mean, we stopped the whole thing. We hung up. I was like, this episode's never happening, blah, 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 and then she came back on, and it was like, and we didn't just continue. It was like something needed to be, and she was like, she had some like explanation. I'm going through a divorce. It was more like he cares about me was the angle, like, and I'm going through a divorce, and like, so he just didn't want me to mention like, like my like whatever. And I'm just like, oh, well, okay, honey. Like if it just, and it wasn't critical. I just really felt like I felt for her, like, wow, something seems weird.
I think it's sad. And to me, this article that I read from NBC was like, no one knows if their engagement is on or off. To me, if she's not coming out and saying we're done, I take that. I take the lack of confirmation or denial as they're still together in some capacity. But again, I don't know that either. I'm just speculating, but
I would tend to agree with you. And it's just, I mean, look, do I think this is why Shahs ended? I don't, I think it's ratings. I mean, we have Jen Shah, and we have Erika, and we have Teresa. No, I don't think Bravo gets there. But I mean, this is, I guess, different in the sense that it's not I mean, are we making a distinction between white collar and like actual abuse? Probably. But I don't think that's why. I just think, I don't think they might have kept Mike, or I just think the ratings were also down.
Personally, I think this is the end of Mike's reality career, because, we've seen the rumors online that MJ, Reza,
Asa and Gigi.
Arsa and Gigi are working on supposedly another show or project for
Honey, those four post. I mean, my opinion, as Tamara Judd says, God, we have to talk about Tamara the next time we talk, over Tamara. In my opinion, is that they have some money between Reza, Gigi's got money. I mean, I believe that they are kind of trying to do their own show. That's my opinion. You and I can produce our own show today. Do you want to spend $500,000 a year, Sarah? Because you and I can do our own show. We can have our own show. Now, I don't know what network it can be on, but you and I can have our own reality show on YouTube or TikTok or anywhere else. I mean, you can have your own show. I believe that those four are trying to put on their